Heidi ho, campers. It's a cold and dreary day. It's supposed to be better than this, but it's raining a little bit. I took my Ford Ranger in 3 days ago to get a small service, and I was told I needed new brake pads, didn't have very long to go, and that the rotors were wearing. I thought, okay, well, since a little kid of 17, my first car was a Ford Mustang Fastback 65. Not only did I replace the clutch 3 times, for obvious reasons, I had to do brakes then. And every car subsequent, I've done the brakes. They're not super elaborate. And in this case, I know that disc brakes are a lot easier, and I don't even have to bleed the brake system. I'm not going to go step by step on showing you how it replaces. There are so many videos on YouTube. For the most part, they're mostly the same. But what I am going to do is I'm going to time this so that you can see that some Joe schmuck like me can do this in less than a day. For someone that's never done this, or only once or twice before, that it's not that bad, it's not that hard, it's not that difficult, it's not rocket science. Now all I've done so far is basically I chalked the back wheels. I've jacked it up. You can see I've got a little slight problem there, so when I'm jacking down it's going to be a whole different ball game. But I've also put all this stuff underneath here. As you can see, I personally don't think you can be too safe. You hear all the nightmare stories of people taking risks or just doing really dumb things. It's not worth it. So this is taking part of the weight, not much. That's taking most of the weight, and if both of those fail, it falls on that, and it's only going to go down an inch or two. So I'm feeling pretty safe with that. Okay, this is usually what I always run into, is that to get that, I don't know, to break that lock that the nut has. And I'm not sure you guys that are mechanics or know more about this. Do they use Loctite on this stuff? Because I'm going to have to use something with a little bit more grunt there. Okay. That puppy worked. And you heard it snap. Not that it broke, it just snapped that seal that it makes when it, like that grip. Oh. Well, like I said, I'm no expert, and I seem to learn the hard way every time. I should have done this first. I know some of you out there are laughing, but I'll tell you, this is how you learn. You work on your own truck, you learn so much stuff, and even though you learn the hard way and it takes a lot longer, the money you save basically is your cost of your intuition. Okay. Done it somewhat back to front, but we'll get there. I'm just gonna hang this so we don't put pressure on the brake line. I'm just gonna put that up here. I just moved it because I know I'm going to be taking the rotor off. Okay, so I'm going to go that way when it goes back on. So you guys tell me, you guys that know, in the comments below. Here's my new one compared to my old one. So I'm thinking they're more than half gone. But tell me, are they two gone, or could they have still gone another 10,000 miles or whatever? Now here's where I reckon I'm in a little bit of trouble. This rubber bits in here look to be completely gone, and you can see here this one is just falling apart. So now I'm in big trouble. So I either need to replace these, which I don't know if that's even possible, or I need to get a whole new setup here, which means I'm going to have to be able to bleed the brakes. I tell you, with this truck that I've had, if it's not one thing, it's another, and nothing seems to be simple. Every job I do, almost every job I do, gets compounded by something else that's wrong. Okay, so everything's come to an absolute screeching halt. I've called up Repco. I've ordered these, although he's going to get back to me. They weren't in stock. He's going to get back to me in no win. So that gives me some time to do some other things. So I'm going to just clean up all this little bit of surface rust on this arm back here. All this stuff. I'm just going to clean up all this and repaint it black. Also, before I start that, I'm going to jack up the other side too. And so I'm going to be working on both sides at the same time. So, because once I treat the rust, it has to dry for an hour. Then you put the primer on there. So it takes a bit of time. But anyway, it'll be a better job when it's all done.